Harrison! Marvin Harrison Jr. to the end zone! Touchdown again!
So guys, I'm not really sure if you've been around my channel or not in the past, but all offseason, I talked about why the Cardinals are better than what people were giving them credit for. It's like everyone forgot the type of player Kyler Murray is when he is healthy. And now you're giving him a special talent in Marvin Harrison Jr. who can literally take away 2 defenders, along with James Conner at running back, and an improving young defense. I thought the Cardinals would hang around this season, and they absolutely killed the Rams, taking away any life they had remaining coming off that Detroit loss. I mean, just in general, it's not every day you see a 41-10 beatdown at this level. But to do it against a team that was projected to be in the playoff hunt really opened some eyes. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what the Cardinals did to be successful in this win, what key players stood out, and also what they can improve on moving forward. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so starting off with a quick game recap, the Rams started off with the ball, but the Arizona defense stood strong right away, forcing an incomplete pass and then only allowing a 1-yard gain. So now the Cardinals had the ball, and Kyler Murray got right to work driving down the field with no problem. James Conner had a 16-yard gain and a 13-yard one, and then Kyler found Marvin Harrison in the end zone for a 23-yard touchdown for his first TD of his career. We could look back at this one 10 years from now and be looking at a Hall of Famer's first touchdown, but that's besides the point. The Arizona defense then forced another punt, really setting the tone on this game. And before you knew it, Marvin Harrison was in the end zone with the ball again for a 60-yard TD. It was beautiful to watch. And if you're a fantasy player, he had close to 30 points in the first quarter, which is pretty insane to think about. The remainder of the first was quiet with no scoring, but then at the start of the second, James Conner did a little bit of tough running, and then Kyler Murray hit Elijah Higgins for an 18-yard touchdown to put the Cardinals up 21-0. And the Rams all of a sudden looked like they didn't know what hit them. The Rams did finally get on the board after, but only with 3 points on a Joshua Carty 29-yarder. But then the Cardinals matched those points with a 48-yard field goal of their own. So with 5 minutes to go before half, Arizona owned a 24-3 lead, and that score remained until halftime. The Cardinals would receive the ball to start out the third, and Murray immediately started spraying the football around the field. Trey McBride had a short catch, Conner was getting more work in, and once the Cards got to the red zone, he was able to punch the ball into the end zone to give the Cardinals a 31-3 lead. Yes, 31-3. But it didn't end there. Matt Prater kicked a 57-yard bomb, and after, the Rams finally scored their first touchdown of the game, but then early in the fourth, Trey McBride picked up a James Conner fumble for a touchdown. So that was pretty much it for this game. It was all garbage time after this. Actually, there's an argument to be made that the entire second half was garbage time, but either way, it was a statement win by Arizona, who now sits at 1-1, and I thought they should have won in week 1 against the Bills. They just choked. Let's be honest. But it's early into the season, and all that matters is that they are playing good and respectable football. Here's what Jonathan Gannon had to say in his interview after the game.
Did an excellent job today, even the start of the game, I think they returned it. Defense got off on 4th down, and we hit the explosive touchdown. Started the game well, and execution stayed consistent for most of the game. We'll clean some things up, but happy for those guys. They put a lot of work in. And on to Detroit.
Looking at some of the final stats from this game, Kyler Murray had 266 passing yards with 3 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 130 yards off 4 receptions, 2 of which were touchdowns. And he could have had even better numbers, but I mean, the Cardinals didn't need to throw the ball as much once they got up by double digits. James Conner had 122 yards and a touchdown. Higgins had 1 catch with that 18-yard touchdown, and Trey McBride had 6 catches for 67 yards. So basically, everybody on the offense got to eat. But the defensive numbers were not too shabby either. The defensive line had 3 sacks, 3 of which came from Dennis Gardeck. White led the way with 5 assists, and Budda Baker had the most tackles with 8. Holding a team like the Rams to 10 points is pretty impressive. I know Puka Nacua was out, but this team still loves to air out the football, and the Cardinals secondary held their ground all game long. Anyways, moving on, let's talk more about the connection of Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. In the past, many people mentioned how the thing Kyler Murray has been missing is a safety blanket. A guy when in doubt, you can just throw the ball up to make a play. sort of like DeAndre Hopkins, and we saw that in effect with him when he had that one insane touchdown to win the game a few years ago. But Marvin truly is a special talent. He had a slow first game, mostly due to Murray, but they found the connection today. I think Kyler found out that even if he doesn't look open, he's gonna make a play and always has a chance to in literally any situation. Here is what both Marvin Harrison and Murray had to say in their post-game interviews.
I mean, it was solid. I think the offense played a good game. Definitely executed in the run game and in the pass game as well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I saw Kyler's stat line. He has 4 incompletions, all were to me. So I'm not very happy about that. We definitely gotta get that fixed, but we continue to build on our chemistry and as the season goes on.
Oh, just great game. Marvelous work out there. Great team effort, offense, defense, special teams. Great week of practice. Expect to come out here and play like this when you're prepared and you got a great feel for it.
One thing I love about Marv is how humble he is. The first thing he pointed out is how Kyler had 4 incompletions and all of them were to him. If you're looking to critique yourself after a 41-10 win, I think that shows a lot about your character and who you are as a player. I mean, if he's having games like this in week 2 of his rookie season, I can't wait to see what the connection is like later down the road. But as I talked about earlier, I think defenses are going to start to really see how special he truly is, and he's going to see some double coverages, which could limit his production, but will open up the field for everyone else, and Murray is going to take full advantage of that. People told me to pump the brakes when I said the Cardinals could go 8-9 or 9-8 this season. But you know what? I'm going to double down. I think Arizona will at least be a 10-win team, assuming that the star power for the most part can stay healthy and avoid catastrophic injuries. Anyways, going back to the defense, here are some of my takeaways from what I saw. Budda Baker was everywhere and set the tone on the second play of the game when he dropped Williams for a 1-yard loss. Baker exchanged a hug with Monty Ossenfort as he entered the locker room after the game and just might have been sending a cosmic message to the general manager about his contract. In addition to Gardeck's 2 third-down sacks, edge rusher Zaven Collins had one, as did inside linebacker Barnes. I was super impressed when Stafford tried to run for the first down and Barnes knocked him out of bounds for a 1-yard loss. Overall, the Rams converted only 2 of 11 plays on third down, and 1 was on their final possession. Notably, most were manageable situations. However, Stafford was 3 for 5 for 20 yards on third down with 1 conversion, and that was a 12-yard play on 3rd and 8 if you're looking for something to be nitpicky about. Looking ahead, the Cardinals get the Lions next week, and then Washington. I'm excited to see how they can follow up this performance because the Lions will come in angry after how they dropped a game to the Buccaneers. And for the Cards, it's easy to get cocky after a game like this. They almost just need to forget about it, build off what went well, and they really need to start preparing for next week because Dan Campbell always has a few tricks up his sleeve. I really do think Kyler Murray is going to officially reestablish himself as a top 10 QB in the league by the time the season is all said and done. It's fun to see what he can do now that he has a legit #1 target and a tight end who is super solid as well. This just looks like a completely renewed offense, and if you can combine it with a defense that is looking to become more and more consistent, who knows what can happen. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you would like to see next. Until then, I will see you all later.